Halofla here to good evening. Leading our news bulletin for tonight, Niue government has now announced the second air service for the island. Honourable Premier Toke Talangi said he is pleased with the development with the second service. He said the proposal for the second flight service has also been confirmed as to which days it will travel to Niue as well as the duration of the service. Niue has been a very popular destination with tourists and it is hoped it will continue to increase to the future. Niue Police and Environment Department have tried to find ways to address the illegal shooting of birds out of season on the island. Normally, the shooting season is open in December for a period of 1 to 2 months, and that hinges on cabinet approval. However, this week, the Niue Police announced this shooting season has now been opened early, as approved by cabinet, and will end on the 30th of November. The move is one way of making provisions that will enable people to stay within the parameters of the law. There have been recent complaints from the general public and common knowledge that there are a handful of people who continue to ignore the rules. Niue Police say that monitoring and enforcing some of the provisions within the law are difficult unless police cite those shooting or get reports from the public to follow up on. But in a small community, it is unlikely people would be willing to make formal complaints to assist police investigations. The shooting season is now open as of this week until the 30th of November, and firearm owners are entitled to 4 boxes of ammunition for each registered firearm. Whether this will be enough time or put a stop to illegal shooting, that is yet to be seen, but Niue Police will continue to monitor as the shooting season progresses. The Pacific Forum line has now been sold to Samoa. Honourable Premier Toke Talangi says he is pleased with the sale and Niue is expected to receive some funds from the sale. The shares Niue received from the Pacific Forum line was given by New Zealand with a total of 12 shareholders altogether, but Niue has invested in the company previously. Premier Talangi said Niue is not expected to request the shipping line service Niue because of the amount of goods to the island is minimal to warrant a second shipping service to the island. The sale of the Pacific Forum line was completed on Monday this week. Concerns that sharks were being fed out at sea has had fishermen speak out over the dangers of such actions. One concerned fisherman from Avasele village, who is the spokesperson for the Avasele Fishermen's Club, rang BCN News alleging shark feeding within Avasele waters. BCN News spoke to those the fishermen suspected of feeding the sharks, and they said they are shocked at the allegations because they have not fed sharks and they have no intentions of feeding the sharks. In other island countries, this practice is common, with tourist operators competing to attract more activities for business. However, no proof has been received that these activities occur in Niue waters. The spokesperson for the Fishermen's Club in Avasele said the number of sharks has increased recently and they suspect it is due to the feeding. The fishermen are fearful for their lives if they are out fishing individually because of the number of sharks around the sea area. Niue Fisheries said they have seen the increase of sharks numbers in Avasele over the last 4 to 5 years, but they have not seen or received reports of shark feeding. Despite the wrangling over the increased number of sharks in Avasele waters, the village invited all the fishermen around the island to compete in their annual fishing competition prior to the village show day this Saturday. A few sharks were caught, but the canoe fishermen fared better than their counterparts in Alofi a few days earlier. Many who visited the Avasele ramp witnessed some of the catch of the day, and some, well, let's just say there is always next year. The Niue Island Fishermen's Association is starting a little early this year with their Constitution celebration events. The association's interim chairman, Mr. Robert Matua Rex, says the flying fish competition will start on Wednesday evening with at least 4 categories. There is the open men's category where all expert flying fishermen are invited to show their skill. In an effort to encourage younger people to take more interest in the style of fishing, there is a category for youth male and youth female. A category reminiscent of tennis is the mixed double, where a male and female crew will pit their wits against each other. Mr. Rick says the association is keen to encourage younger people to take part in the contest. Flying fishing, he added, is an important part of our cultural heritage. The program continues on Friday the 19th with a contest for boats and for those fishing on the reef. Both contests are due for an early start at 5 in the morning at Sir Robert's Wharf. Entry forms for these activities are available from the Tourism Information Centre and from Central Services. All over the world, World Teachers' Day is celebrated on the 5th of October each year. Newest teachers joined in celebrations on Friday with banners put up around town as well as activities planned for both schools. World Teachers' Day has been celebrated since 1994. It aims to mobilize support for teachers to ensure that the needs of future generations will continue to be met by teachers. All over the world, a quality education offers hope and the promise of a better standard of living. However, there can be no quality education without competent and motivated teachers. And this year's theme was Take a Stand for Teachers. Taking a stand for the teaching profession means providing adequate training, ongoing professional development, and protection for teachers' rights. The early childhood and newer primary school teachers, dressed to impress, going about to different locations in town, including the Falefonu, singing songs, celebrating, and ending up at the Niue Golf and Sports Club for a bit of R&R. As for Niue High School, their celebrations revolved around the Vangaho Niue speeches for Year 7 to 9, delivering speeches that focused on the importance of teachers, but not only those in school, but also acknowledging other educators in homes from the churches, basically in recognition of those who dedicate their time to teach others, giving them a better foundation for a brighter future. The results in the speech competition saw a clean sweep by female students in Year 7, Saraya Mangawa in first, Haven Sosikefu second, and third, Harriet Sonitama. In Year 8, first went to Moira Tongatule, second, Shailene Tohavaka, and third, Kathleen Siontuato. Year 9, first placing went to Vitulia Puletor, second, Crystalia Lofoli, and in third, Audrey Parker. The day ended on a high note, with teachers feeling extra special, even if just for a day. Lastly, Niue Primary School was filled with excitement, laughter, and nipple action as students got to show off their skills. All students from early childhood to Niue Primary School level were part of a Nipple Tournament to round off the school term. Many parents took a few hours out of their day to watch their young ones putting into practice what they have learned over the past term. A few steps out of line, but all fun nonetheless. Normally, the primary school teams open up the netball season, but this year there was no local competition. Organisers say the event has also been helpful in other areas.
Helps them with their sports skills, keeps them energized. It also helps them mentally. They know, most of them know that netball is for girls, but today we've shown that boys can play netball as well, and they've been willing in the past to play as well, because there's no tournament for boys like rugby or touch. So they were quite happy to play, and they've learned quite a lot that it's a team game, it's not an individual game. So they have to be all play, and they also learn to encourage each other. If they lose or somebody, they know what to say. So today you've seen some of them, it's all right, next time. So those things So it's all about participating together and work as a team. And some of them, you can tell individual students who are really good at playing, who takes the lead and others follow. So that's what today is all about. Well, it's been a fun day. The parents, they're quite excited seeing their children play. And in the past, we have worked with Nina to have the tournament. And just because we've been so busy, so we decided to have our own tournament just to mark the nipple. And Nina has been very supportive of our efforts. They've sponsored some of the things that we've done today, and they've attended, all the referees. So we'd like to thank the president of Nina and everybody that has helped out. Today, the umpires, the timekeepers. So, we're working together with Nina. But today was for us, for our netball skills. Maybe next year we'll hold one with Nina, with the New Island Netball Association.
The event was also supported by the PAC project and Environment Department. Another activity that will be held to round off the term will be an ukulele concert for those year 4 to 6 students that will be held on Thursday morning, and that will also conclude the weeks of after-school practices and term 3 before students go on school holidays for 2 weeks.